But there was a lot of big politics getting into it with certain people. You know, Hussle had DJ Khaled in the hood, and Hussle frontline that. And, you know, we felt like certain people didn't like that.
This someone being mad about the DJ Khaled video has to be Big U. What Blacc Sam did, he talked about certain things without talking about certain people.
Violence ain't gonna follow you wherever it is. Right. You know what I mean? It's gonna follow you wherever it's gonna follow you. And if it's meant for you to happen, it's gonna hit you. Period.
Well, officers arrested more than a dozen members tied to the gang known as the Rollin 60s neighborhood Crips, though its leader was on the run. Well, within the last 20 minutes, the FBI announcing that man, Eugene Henley Jr., a.k.a. Big U, is now in custody.
Hey, but you know what's going to go crazy in the next 2 weeks is when Eric Holder get his appeal.
What makes you think that the appeal is going to work?
No, it's coming out.
A couple years into like a very long sentence.
No, he got a get out of jail free card.
What's that?
Brick baby?
No, not
illness?
Puka, but Big Useless.
Blacc Sam just dropped some major bombshells in his latest interview, and it's got people questioning everything we thought we knew about Nipsey Hussle's passing. So Blacc Sam hinted that former Rollin 60s Crip gang leader Big U, who was recently arrested and hit with a RICO indictment, might be more involved in what happened to Nipsey than people think. Meanwhile, rumors are going around that Eric Holder, the who took Nipsey's life, is getting ready to snitch on Big U to help his own case. But is there any actual proof that Big U was involved in the setup against Nipsey? And could Eric Holder really expose Big U's alleged involvement? Let's break this down, y'all.
A statement about to come out probably like 2 days.
A statement from who?
Eric.
How do you know that in advance? So you're saying by the time this is out?
Hold on, wait.
Listen.
So you're saying we should race this one out?
Wait.
No, I'm just saying.
Hold on, Adam. I swear to God, I haven't had this conversation with him.
South LA gang figure and former music exec Big U was recently arrested and hit with a serious federal case. Prosecutors say he was presenting himself as a community leader while secretly running a criminal organization. The charges include racketeering, extortion, and fraud. He pleaded not guilty on April 8th, and if convicted, he could face life in prison. His trial is set to begin on May 20th.
Music executive and alleged LA gang leader Eugene Henley Jr. is heading to trial. Last month, he was named in a 43-county federal indictment, and this afternoon, he pleaded not guilty during his arraignment. Prosecutors accuse Henley of running a criminal enterprise involving murder, human trafficking, robbery, and extortion. They also say Henley, known as Big U, has ties to the notorious Rollin 60s neighborhood Crips street gang. His trial is scheduled for May 20th.
Big U's arrest also brought something else back into the spotlight. Those old rumors linking him to Nipsey Hussle's murder. Big U and Nipsey were close at one point, but after Nipsey was tragically killed in 2019, some insiders started hinting that Big U might have been involved in the setup. Now, Big U actually addressed it before and has always denied any involvement. On an episode of Drink Champs, he said there was no beef between him and Nipsey. And according to Big U, the rumors came from people trying to use Nipsey's death for clout. He also pointed out that Eric Holder Jr., who was convicted of killing Nipsey, was someone Nipsey personally knew, and that the came from a personal conflict, not any larger plot.
What bothers me the most when people say he got by one of his own homeboys.
Right.
Well, at some point, he wasn't his homeboy.
Right.
Because he's like, you ain't supposed to be here.
Right.
If you fire somebody from Drink Champs,
Right.
and then pull back up to Drink Champs while y'all filming, you're going to be like, wasn't that a disgruntled employee?
Right.
That means he wasn't the homeboy.
Right.
Like, so they need to dead that part.
Right.
Like, he wasn't the homie.
Now, to give you some context, Nipsey Hussle was down on March 31st, 2019, right in front of his Marathon clothing store in South Central LA. He was hit with at least 10 shots, and in a brutal final moment, the shooter actually kicked him in the head after he fell.
It's the dramatic last video of rapper Nipsey Hussle in Los Angeles.
Oh my goodness!
Paramedics worked frantically to keep him alive. Bystanders are in shock.
Are you serious?
2 other people were also shot in the chaos, and all 3 were rushed to the hospital. But tragically, Nipsey was pronounced dead at 3:55 p.m. He was only 33 years old. The news was devastating and sent shockwaves through the hip-hop world and beyond. He left behind his longtime partner, Lauren London, their son Cross, and his daughter Imani, whom he shared with his ex, Tanisha Foster.
I had to write something because I've never felt this type of pain before, but I know that God is alive, but bear with me, y'all. His soul was majestic. He was the strongest man that I ever knew, a gentle father, a patient leader, a divine light. He was brilliant. He researched everything, completely self-taught, constantly seeking knowledge. He would go to bed and listen to these audiobooks in his headphones, and I would tease him, but that really is what I thought was the coolest ever about him. And he would wake up in the morning and play music for the kids and light a sage and burn it around the house and just make sure that our energy going outside would be uplifted and that we could handle the day. You know, my pain is for my 2-year-old that probably won't remember how much his dad loved him. This is something that, you know, I don't really understand, but I know that Aramis always used to say that you can't possess people, that you experience them. And I'm so honored and blessed that I got to experience such a man. I know everyone is hurting, but I'd like to say something to my city, Los Angeles. Y'all from LA, stand up. Because this pain is really ours, you know? We know what it meant to us. We lost an incredible soul. We lost someone very rare to us, and we lost a real one. And we won't ever be the same. But in Hussle's words, because he used to always say this, the game is gonna test you, never fold. Stay 10 toes down. It's not on you, it's in you. And what's in you, they can't take away. And he's in all of us. And to Aramis, the love of my life, you know what it is. Grief is the final act of love. My heart hears you. I feel you everywhere. I'm so grateful that I had you. I love you beyond this earth. And until we meet again, the marathon continues.
But it didn't take long for police to name a suspect. They quickly identified Eric Ronald Holder Jr., who was 29 at the time. Early reports confirmed that this wasn't some random attack. Holder actually knew Nipsey. Investigators believe the shooting tied to a personal conflict between the two. And just 2 days later, on April 2nd, 2019, Holder was arrested and placed in solitary confinement. By May 9th, 2019, things got more serious. A grand jury indicted Holder on multiple charges: 1 count of murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, assault with a firearm, and possession of a firearm by a felon.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action, find the defendant, Eric Ronald Holder Jr., guilty of the crime of first-degree murder.
Eric Holder Jr. was convicted on 6 felony counts, including first-degree murder for the death of Nipsey Hussle, who was born Aramis Ashkodon.
The trial started in June 2022, and Holder's defense team tried to spin it like he didn't mean to kill Nipsey, that it all happened in the heat of the moment. But the prosecution shut that down fast, saying the whole thing was planned out. During the trial, we found out that there was tension between Nipsey and Holder right before the shooting. The two reportedly argued over a rumor that Holder had snitched in another case, and that's what allegedly sparked everything. Fast forward to July 6, 2022, and the jury came back with a guilty verdict. Then on February 22nd, 2023, Holder was officially sentenced to 60 years behind bars.
As to count 1, the first degree of Mr. Ashkodon, the sentence will be the term prescribed by law, which is 25 years to life. In addition, there will be the 12022.53D allegation, which is consecutive. That will be an additional 25 years to life. So for count 1 alone, it would be 50 years to life. The total sentence would be 60 years to life in prison. The court would also recommend to the Department of Corrections that the defendant be housed in a facility that would address his mental health needs.
But even though Eric Holder was convicted and hit with what's basically a life sentence, a lot of people still felt like the full story hadn't come out. And in the meantime, rumors started floating around that Holder might not have acted alone, that maybe he was doing someone else's dirty work. And that's when Big U's name started getting tossed around. Big U is a South Central LA native and was deep in the streets as a Rollin 60s Crip back in the day. After doing a 13-year bid in the 90s, he switched things up and made a name for himself in the music and film industry, managing artists like Corrupt and later working with Nipsey. But ever since Nipsey's passing, fans haven't been looking at Big U the same. A lot of people started giving him the side eye, and soon some folks in the industry started dropping hints that maybe Big U had something to do with Nipsey getting set up by Eric Holder. One of the first to really stir things up was producer Loose Cannon, who also happens to be the cousin of the mother of Nipsey's first child. During an interview on the No Jumper podcast, Loose claimed that Big U called him before the happened, thinking Nipsey was already dead, and just 30 minutes after that call is when Eric Holder pulled the trigger.
He FaceTimed me. So he FaceTimed me and stuff like that. He was like, Nipsey just got. I'm like, 6-0. I didn't hear that. So I hang up with him. I called Nipsey and I'm like, Nipsey, what's up? He was like, oh, what's up with it?
Nipsey answered.
Nipsey answered. He answered the phone. And I was like, I love you, cuz, or whatever like that.
Did you tell him the call you just got? Or you didn't even mention it?
I didn't mention it. And that's because my cousin is Nipsey baby mama. You get what I'm saying? So it was like, I could have probably stopped it, or it had it.
Stop what?
No, because listen, so after I talked to Nipsey and I was like, yeah, I love you, cuz, or whatever like that. I'll see you later or whatever. So I hung up the phone. I thought Big U gave wrong information. 30 minutes later, the homies blowing me up like they just Nipsey. And so I'm like,
wait. You get a call from Big U telling you Nipsey just got.
Yeah.
You panic, called Nip. Nip answered the phone.
Yeah. And
you
we
like
were just talking on regular. So it's like at the end of the day, I didn't even think about it because
you don't even warn him that you got that call from dude.
No, because their relationship was so. It'd be like they be hot one minute, then they be cold the next minute, and then they be lukewarm. Like you
and
just
30 minutes after you get out the phone with Nip, he get.
Yeah, I got it.
So you think he hit you a little too early?
Now, when Big U caught wind of Loose Cannon's claims, he quickly sent a cease and desist to No Jumper, and Adam22 ended up pulling the interview with Cannon from the channel. But Loose wasn't backing down. He fired right back at Big U, saying if Big U's first move was to threaten him with a cease and desist, that must mean there's some truth to what he was saying. But Loose didn't shift his story one bit, saying he never claimed Big U directly ordered Nipsey's death. Instead, he now says Big U knew it was going to happen and failed to warn Nipsey. But things got even messier after Nipsey's older brother, Blacc Sam, dropped a huge hint in an interview with Big Boy and suggested that Eric Holder might have been sent by someone else to take Nipsey out. According to Blacc Sam, Eric Holder first showed up at Nipsey's store just scoping the place out. Sam pointed out that the usual security measures weren't in place that day. Then, shortly after Holder left, he returned wearing a red shirt, something Sam said you couldn't even buy in that area. Moments later, Holder approached Nipsey and the shots rang out.
Somebody come to the shop. They know we in the doorway. When Hussle pull up, we in the doorway. You gonna see me with a hoodie on, and I got a pistol on me. You gonna see one of the team members in the hoodie in the doorway with a pistol. That's protocol when Hussle pull up. So it's Sunday. It's busy in there. Why the didn't follow the protocol? I wasn't there. Why they didn't follow it? Maybe they just around helping the customer, doing some fucking customer service. This is what I'm thinking, trying to, transition into some legitimate just selling clothes. But nobody was in the doorway. And from my understanding, old boy walked up with no shirt on first to check the scene, because he know what's going on in that parking lot. And had a conversation. Probably seen nobody was in the doorways, checked Hussle, had on shorts, checked everybody else, left. They say came back with a red shirt on, tiptoed through the alley, and went right and started. So to me, that's premeditated. Number one, there's no red shirts in the hood. You can't buy no red shirt. No liquor store sell no red shirt. Number two, when you come through the alley with a red shirt, that's the throw off, or the Bloods did it, or the Inglewood families did it, or the BPS, that's the throw off, red shirt. So for me, he felt he was supposed to do a job, or somebody sent him or whatever, and he was nervous. He was supposed to hit that alley with that red shirt immediately, but he didn't do that. He came in and he wanted to check the scene. He wanted to make sure he wasn't getting into a shootout. And that's my thoughts on it. You understand? So, and can't nobody tell me nothing about that because it just don't make no sense. It's not random.
Blacc Sam also said that he doesn't believe Eric ever had a verbal showdown with Nipsey because if he had, he would have gotten jumped right then and there. And Sam's take is that Eric knew exactly what he was doing and was on a mission from the jump.
The fact that he left tell me everything I need to know. It was no argument, you know. It was no sense of threat. Because with that come, like, hey, be on deck. It was none of that. It was just, you know, to me it was, let me come through, let me see what's going on, and then let me, you know, and it's broad daylight, man, and it's, you know, it's a lot of unanswered questions, man.
You don't believe he had any dialogue with Nip that day, or did anybody say he said something?
Yeah, no, they had dialogue, but it was in the mix of him coming up, talking to bro, and, you know, whatever transpired, it wasn't an aggressive dialogue. It was just maybe small talk, and then maybe people saying Nip brought something up to him. Okay, he may have, but it wasn't to me that don't, whatever the dialogue was, that didn't justify, or that didn't turn into that. You know what I'm saying? He came there for a reason, and May got the reverses. I mean, he got the charges reversed because Hussle asked him something about it and humbled him real quick. But I think it's gonna come to the light.
Now, Blacc Sam didn't name drop Big U, but as soon as his interview hit the headlines, Wack 100 jumped in saying Sam was clearly throwing shade at Big U when he mentioned Eric Holder was there to, quote, do a job, end quote. Meanwhile, Wack 100 also stirred the pot by bringing up a time when Nipsey brought DJ Khaled to the hood to shoot a video. Apparently, Big U wasn't feeling it at all, but Nipsey went ahead with it. And Wack even hinted that this wasn't just a one-off. There's been some long-standing tension between Nipsey and Big U that goes way back.
Really gonna dissect that interview and see what Sam is saying, bro. Sam is really alluding to that the boy Eric Holder was sent. He kind of alluding to like Big U done might have sent that nigga, bro.
Eric Holder is a little, bro. You don't remember when I said the only way a mental patient could walk into a mental facility and get checked in is he was already a previous.
Yes, he was already there. Yep.
You remember I used to tell everybody that. You know what I'm saying? I thought he was gonna use that as part of his defense. Because he already is a mental patient. He diagnosed already. Did Blacc Sam talk about the time Big U came down there and fired the gun, and he tried to fire the gun in the air? What did he tell the story on how he went from assaulting to standing with the police as a motherfucking grid worker and pointing the finger at people? Oh,
He didn't
that one yet.
He didn't really get into that. You know, it was with Big Boy. So what he really wanted to focus on was like it was kind of like he was trying to dispel everything that Big U been saying without saying Big U name, because he made sure to say like basically like he told the story of the night before Nip died, which was a Saturday. It was Adam's birthday, and they was in some Wally's. They was in some restaurant called Wally's or whatever, right? And they was talking about how it was a lot of political issues and niggas was mad that Nip bought DJ Khaled to the neighborhood and shit.
No, Big U was mad.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But
he didn't say Big U name, but that's what he was saying.
But what is he mad about, though?
That's what he meant.
Oh no, listen. He sent a team over there on him.
about it. Press that man. This is why when I seen DJ Khaled taking pictures with Big U, I knew what that was. That was the old LA shuffle, the old LA squeeze. But he definitely had a problem with it because the move didn't go through him. He's saying, nigga, Nipsey, you can't bring nobody over here without clearing it through me. Nipsey said, nigga, who is you? You gotta remember, Nipsey did a whole diss song on Big U. You heard the song before, right?
Facts, I heard that shit.
Whack, but wasn't Blacc Sam and Big U already into it?
No, Blacc Sam was into it because of what he did to his brother.
Really? Okay.
Did he talk about Fats? You know, us a little nigga named Fats, about 5'6", little fat nigga, about 260.
Both the Fats? The nigga that died?
Hold on. You know what happened to him about a week before he died, right?
I heard something about some weed shit.
No, Fats put Big U on his pockets.
Damn.
Big U tried to take off on Nip, and Fats took off on Big U and set him on his pockets. In front of everybody. A week later, Fats was out of here. Think somebody might have shot him. I don't know what happened.
And then on top of that, Loose Cannon recently hinted that Eric Holder might snitch on Big U over his alleged involvement in the plot against Nipsey.
Hey, but you know what's going to go crazy in the next 2 weeks is when Eric Holder get his appeal.
What makes you think that the appeal is going to work?
No, it's coming out.
A couple years into like a very long sentence.
No, he got to get out of jail free card.
What's that?
Brick Baby?
No, not
illness?
Puka Butt. Big Useless.
You think he's going to try to put it on?
Oh, wait.
Shut the
Look, listen.
We're going to have to delete this one too.
No.
No.
What are you talking about? I swear to God, bro.
This is why you invited them on?
I had no idea.
I don't even got Tania here to stand on business with me?
Bro, I never heard this.
I'm telling you, Big Useless. We can't say Big U. Let's say our uterus.
Jesus.
He is.
That means twins.
Twins.
Uterus?
Big uterus. Twins.
Yeah. So basically,
uterus is a woman's reproductive organs.
I know. So that means twins.
A statement about to come out probably like 2 days.
A statement from who?
Eric.
How do you know that in advance? So you're saying by the time this is out?
Hold on, wait.
Listen.
So you're saying we should race this one out?
Wait.
No, I'm just
Hold
saying.
on, Adam. I swear to God, I haven't had this conversation with him. What do you mean?
Sure you want to swear on God about that?
I'm
I feel like you
telling
could be lying.
No, I swear I've never had this conversation with him.
No, but
I'm trying to
telling
understand
you-
what you're saying.
No, and
What is a statement? Okay, he filed an appeal, right? What would a statement from anybody else do for him?
I was gonna do a lot. A lot.
He ain't making sense.
No, because I can't say it because you
22
know.
Street?
You're saying Eric Holder is going to put out a statement. Basically, I'm trying to think of the only things that he could possibly say about Big U that would change this case at all is like saying that Big U.
I got it.
We don't want to
Hold
say
on.
it though. We don't want to say it though.
I'm gonna talk to you in code.
He funded it.
No, yo. So you saying Eric?
He's saying he's ready.
Eric is going to
He said
sit
everybody.
down with the DA.
He said everybody turned his back. Their back on him, and
He's gonna sit down with the DA and give them some information
facts.
in exchange for leniency on his case.
I'm not gonna.
No, I'm speaking. You're saying Eric Holder is going to sit down with the DA
He's talking about it.
and give them some information in exchange for leniency on his case. Okay, I get what you're saying. Now I don't know I don't know. You understand what he's saying, right?
Yeah.
Without saying it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could kind of imagine what you're going
Yeah,
with.
that's what it.
But why
He
are
said
you,
get out of jail free card.
why are you telling us that this is going to happen before it happens?
Because he told me. He told me put it out there. He about to make the statement. He's gonna put it out there. See, the thing is, I know as soon as we put it out there, then it be cease and desist coming, paperwork
But
coming.
not if it come from him.
Oh yeah, no, it's coming straight from him and his lawyer.
Now, as for fans, they've been side-eyeing Big U ever since Nipsey's death and saying there's something fishy going on. Some even speculated that Big U's ego was bruised, not just by that DJ Khaled situation, but also because he felt like he created Nipsey, only for Nipsey to surpass him in every way, especially when it came to the love and respect Nipsey got from his hood. One fan said, when Nip made it, he should have left California. Big U was jealous of Nip's success. And someone else added, Big U was only useful in jail. He has a penitentiary mentality, stuck on stupid and only respected among fools. But what's your take on all the buzz around Big U's alleged role in Nipsey's death? Do you think he could have really set it up? And is it possible that Eric Holder might end up snitching on him? Drop your thoughts below and don't forget to stick around for this next video.